Are y'all familiar with the term, if you do this, then I'll do that, right? If you do one thing, then I'll do another thing. I'm sure we all have heard it. We probably even said it, to our friends, to our children, to people that we may not even like that much, but we'll say, okay, if you do this, then I'll do that, right? And usually if a person really wants you to do something for them, whatever that thing is, right, they'll comply and they'll do what you ask because they want to receive what you have, right? Children are that same way with their friends. Parents are that same way with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Pastors are that way when it comes to the church, right? If you do this, then I'll do that. People call it the law of reciprocity, right? Or the law of give and take, right? In order to get something, you have to give something, because you can't just get something and not give something, because now you're creating an imbalance in the law, right? And you're not working things the way it's supposed to be done. When you receive something, you're supposed to give something. Stores do it all the time. They do it all the time. Hey, listen, if you give us $1, we'll give you an item, right? Same thing with any establishment that we interact with. In order to get what they have, you've got to give them what you have, right? If they have the gas, you got to give them the cash. If they have the food, you got to give them the money for the food, right? Same way works with you. If you have something and someone is in need of what you have, more than likely or usually they will come to you and say, hey, listen, I'll give you this because you have X, Y, and Z, and I need X, Y, and Z. And then it's up to us to agree and say, okay, yeah, cool. Let's make an agreement, right? Jesus did the same thing. He says, if you bring me your stuff, I will give you results. If you bring me your pain, right, I'll give you healing. If you bring me your sadness, right, I'll give you joy. If you bring me your sin, I'll give you cleanness and salvation. It's the law of give and exchange. When it comes down to exchanging, most of the time, people are not just going to accept anything, right? Don't bring me something that you don't want. Why would I want something you don't want, right? Don't bring me something you don't want, because I don't want no junk. I don't want something that's raggedy. I don't want something that's halfway, decent or whatever. No, don't bring me no crap that you don't want. I want something of value, right? So if you're going to do an exchange with me something that's of value. I'm not giving you something to get garbage back. No, I'm giving you something of value, and I want something of value in exchange. Whether I'm giving my time, my wisdom, my advice, I'm giving my talent or treasure. I'm not expecting to get nothing in return. I want something in return. You dig? And I don't want just no garbage. People do that all the time, man. They make promises and they say, hey, man, I'm going to give you this. And you say, okay, cool. And then you go ahead and do your part, right? But then they fall through. They don't fulfill their obligation of the agreement that they made with you. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there looking silly, holding the bag and wondering, why did they do me like this? What did I do to them to deserve being treated like this, right? And then don't let it happen more than once. Don't let it be, you made an agreement with 2 or 3 people and they didn't fall through. Some kind of way, something happened, right? And it might not necessarily been their fault, but yet they fell through and did not keep their word. Doesn't that irritate you when people don't keep your word? I mean, you go through hell and high water to keep yours, but other people don't keep theirs, and they leave you holding the bag. They leave you in a stuck position. They leave you high and dry. They leave you having to explain what happened and having to come up with these excuses. Why? Because they did not handle their business. Doesn't that irritate you? Doesn't that make you mad to the highest level? You know what I'm saying? You're doing all you can. You're planning. You're making sure you're prepared. You're making sure that you have a strategy. You're making sure you can execute. And if you, for whatever reason, can't execute like you want, you'll sacrifice, you'll cut corners, you'll steal, time from over here to make sure you can meet this obligation for this agreement that you made. But then the other person doesn't have the same mentality. They're not moved in the heart the same way because they feel like their word carries weight and their word means something. That's the worst thing you can do, man, is tell somebody you're going to do something and they put all their eggs in that basket because they're dependent on what you said, right? They're dependent on for you to come through. And then you don't keep your word. Not only do you affect that person that you had this agreement with, but you affect a plethora of situations and scenarios because you don't know what they got going on and what's tied into them needing whatever you had. And then you're affected because now your reputation is garbage. Now your reputation is you're not a man of your word or woman of your word. Now what's being said about you is that, hey, don't do business with them. Hey, don't trust them. Hey, you might want to be careful when you're dealing with, or when you're talking to, or when you're sharing your business, your goals, your dreams, because this person, they're not what they say and they don't keep their word. We never want that to be said about us. You dig? Because we're king's kids. We should keep our word when we say something. We should back what we say because we know that there's weight and there's authority behind the words that we speak. You dig? Who wants to be known for, man, they don't keep their word, dog. You can't, don't tell them nothing, man. If you want something to, if something is really important and it matters a lot to you, hey, don't tell them because they keep their word. You say something and they say, oh man, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Then next thing you know, your stuff is posted on social media. Your stuff is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, hold on. I know I ain't told nobody. But this one person or these two people, that's it. So it had to come through one of them because I ain't told nobody else. Doesn't that burn you up when that happens? It's kind of like, when you want something from the store, right? Like say you want some chips and soda, but you can't make it to the store yourself, right? Because you may be busy or whatever the case is. But somebody's like, yo, man, I'm going to the store. You know what I'm saying? And you say, hey, yo, man, if you fly, I'll buy, right? If you do this for me, then I'll do this for you, right? Exchange. And then they say, okay, cool. And you give them the money and you tell them what you want. And then they go to the store. And then later on when you see them and you like, hey man, where's my stuff? Oh man, see what happened was, whatever the excuse is, but you didn't get your stuff. Or they didn't have it, or I forgot, or oh man, they didn't have what you want, Okay, so then where's my money? Because we had an agreement. I will buy your stuff and mine if you go to the store to get it. I didn't say I was going to treat you. See, and a lot of times that's what it turns out to be, right? But they didn't keep the agreement. And then things get all messed up and out of whack. God is the same way. He says, bring me your pain and I'll give you joy. Bring me your sin and I'll give you cleanliness and salvation. Bring me, whatever it is he requires of you. Maybe he requires your time. If you give me so much time, then I will do X, Y, and Z. Right? It's the same way. God says, bring me your trouble. Bring me your hurt. Bring me what's holding you back. Bring me your fear. Bring me your anxiety. Bring me your trouble. And I will give you this in return. It's a law of give and take. It's a law of exchange. God says, bring me all your heartache, your stress, your anxiety, And then I will take that and give you in exchange something better. See, I'm going to take your garbage and I'm going to give you something much better. I'm going to take the thing that you don't want and I'm going to give you what it is that you really need. But we got to trust to give it to him. We got to trust to bring it to him because we know that he's going to keep his word. God is not a man that he should lie. So if he says, hey, bring me this and I'm going to give you that, take him at his word. In Psalms, the 55th chapter and the 22nd verse, right? He says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. You dig? Psalms 55 and 22. So God is encouraging us. He's telling us, hey, man, cast all your burdens on me. Cast all your cares toward my way. Look, I can take it. I can handle it. I can carry it. You dig? When it's too heavy for you, cast it on me. When you don't know what to do, bring it to me. When you just can't seem to move because you weighted down and you're dragged down by all these burdens and all these weights, right? That so easily beset us on top of the sin. He says, cast them on me. I got you. You dig? Cast them on me. Trust me. I'm going to take care of you. You dig? I'm going to sustain you where you can't sustain yourself. But you got to do something first. You got to take all that crap that's destroying you, killing you, making you sick, you know what I'm saying, messing up your mind and messing with your heart. You got to take all of that and give it to me. When you cast it on me, guess what? Then I see you're serious. Then I see you're following my word. Then I see that you're being obedient and you really don't want none of this because you really can't handle it. And that's why I'm telling you, cast it on me. I can handle it. But I'm going to take that which you cast onto me, and I'm going to turn around and give you something that's going to sustain you. I'm going to give you power. I'm going to give you anointing. I'm going to give you love, joy, peace, happiness. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the tools that you need to be successful. Why? Because you were obedient and you gave me your garbage. You gave me all your hardships and all your mental stresses. You talked to me about the things that slightly bothered you. You did? So when you cast all that stuff on me, so why? So we can be free, we can be clean, we can be light, we can be loved, we can hear from him clearly, we can move in our heart and operating the way God told us that we're supposed to love one another, right? We can give one another good sound wisdom because we took time to meditate. We took time with God. We've heard from the Lord. You did? And so in doing so, we're casting all those things upon him so he can give us wisdom, so he can give us insight, so he can give us strength, so he can give us power, right? We're casting all those fears and things that we're afraid of and those hurtful words that were spoken on us. We're spoken into our life. We're casting all that. We're not carrying that stuff no more. We're no longer operating those things that people said. We're casting all that garbage on him so he can give us what we need. Listen, be blessed today, right? This is Faith Over Fear Friday. So let's exercise our faith over the fear that the enemy tries to put on us. And then let's take whatever fear that we've been holding, man, and cast that stuff on the Lord so he can give us what we need. He can make an exchange with us. He's not going to exchange with you if you're not willing to exchange, right? You got to give him something to get something. You got to give him, right, all your hurt, all your pain, all your trauma in order to get healing and longevity and lasting love. Listen, this is your man, Levon. I just want to encourage you on this Friday, right? This Faith Over Fear Friday. Give it to God. Whatever it is that's holding you back and keeping you down and messing with your mind and not allowing you to move forward, give it to him so that he can make an exchange with you and he can give you everything you need to be successful in this life. This is your man, Levon. Be blessed on today. Remember, Lamella E, love, uplift, motivate, inspire, learn, laugh, encourage, and enlighten. Please, please, like this video, right? Because it helps the algorithm and it helps other people to see the video that they may not get a chance to see. Also, please hit that notification so you're always notified whenever I upload content and you don't miss a video, and subscribe to the channel. Your man, Levon, I'm out. Love y'all.